I got $1,200 in the mail by doing absolutely nothing. It was just handed to me the same way, we buy scratch-offs and lottery tickets, hoping to get lucky. I was just handed money and it felt like it came from thin air. But the truth is, it wasn't from nowhere. The money had a destination and the destination was me. It was an old 401k from a job I did over 10 years ago. Interesting, right? While the money was always destined for me, the timing was everything. Because we are always talking about wanting money to just magically appear in our lives or for money to work for us. And that's because we don't want to work, at least for someone else. And that's normal. And work feels like dying because some of us aren't in our purpose. But that's a subject for a totally different video. You weren't meant to work this much at all. We were meant to frolic in flowers and relax and eat fruit all day and travel. And honestly, on the internet, there's a lot of talk of how to get paid to exist. But that won't be possible until you realize one thing. Everyone wants to win the lottery, so we buy a ticket. But what you need to realize is that you are the ticket. You buy the ticket, hoping that you would win with it. But the win is already in your hands. You've been told your whole life that luck is outside of you and that it's just so random, but that's not true. We have never been luckier in the history of forever.
Quit my job and don't make any money anymore, but Lucky Girl Syndrome is looking out for me. I paid for one drink at Taco Bell and they accidentally gave me 2 cups. Lucky Girl Syndrome works. I paid for one and got 2. I'm gonna be, oh my fucking God, you're kidding me. You're kidding me, Cherry Jolly Rancher? What is my luck today? Oh my God.
So no matter what your life looks like now, you are lucky, especially if you have a roof over your head, food in your fridge, and the willpower to excel and get it if not. Because the level of success the average person can obtain, it is no longer rare. You just have to allow yourself to become the miracle you're searching for. So what if I told you that the jackpot isn't a number? It is a frequency, and you can tap into it at any time because our frequency is measured by our nervous system. If your life doesn't look like the way you want it to, that's okay. It's not because you're lazy or you have to hustle harder or even say 1,000 affirmations, although that might help for a little bit. It's because you're subconsciously running a program that was never yours to begin with. But before you change the program, you have to change the frequency. In the book, Rich and Righteous, it talks about how being is the part that many people try to bypass. They want to skip to the doing and the having, but your being will shape your doing, and your doing will lead to your having. Can we really talk, or are we just going to keep playing around here? There is levels to it. You have been taught to accept struggle as normal. You have to settle for the jobs paying less than your worth or even a livable wage. You've sacrificed your happiness for a paycheck time and time again. You've been conditioned to shrink in relationships. You are told your whole life to wait for the world to validate your worth. How about you start validating yourself? Real wealth and real freedom comes when you shift into the frequency of belief. When your nervous system is regulated and you are in alignment, you become magnetic. Trust me, it is easier said than done. It took me 7 months to get to this place. Yes, I know, you heard right, 7 months. With every month having its ups and downs. Because you know what? Sometimes deprogramming felt easy, like duh, she was a fairy. Yeah, she was a fairy. But then I was like, wait, are you insane? How would any of this work? And I would just start panicking and I would just have anxiety. But guess what? That's normal. Your old frequency will fight you to stay alive. And to add a little sprinkle razzle dazzle to the situation, I've also had no guaranteed paycheck for these past 7 months. But guess what? I've always had money, I've always had peace, and I've never felt more in purpose than I do right now. Because I stopped chasing and I started becoming. So if you have a job right now, you have one less worry than I have. I know it sounds like magic, but it's not. I mean, it is, but it is. You are the magic, but it only happens when you regulate your nervous system the right way, which in turn changes your frequency. All we are talking about is energy. So your energy might be cluttered because the way you're living life just doesn't work for you. If you're okay clocking in and out for the rest of your life and having to do your passions as a side hustle, then all right, that's okay. If you're fine with being in a relationship with someone who doesn't really give soulmate energy because they're emotionally immature and just straight up don't treat you like the absolutely amazing entity that you are. That's your choice. But I'm here to free those of you who are looking for a nervous system alignment. Nervous system regulation is the foundation of real transformation. When your body is constantly in fight or flight, your mind can't make aligned decisions. It's just trying to survive. But when you regulate your nervous system through breath work, stillness, boundaries, and intentional habits, you shift out of survival and into creation. And we need creation to create the life we deserve. Once you're regulated, it becomes easier to believe in yourself. And it's easier to take action, and it's also easier to receive what you deserve. Not because you're forcing it, but because your system finally feels safe enough to expand. A regulated nervous system just means you feel safe. And you gotta feel safe doing something you've never done before. You gotta feel safe jumping out of a plane without a parachute.
Your nervous system doesn't care how much inner work you've done or healing you've done. All it cares about is being safe. So if you're a person who feels like, oh, I thought I overcame this trigger, I thought this doesn't bother anymore, I thought I did inner work around this and I healed this part of me, that's not really how it works. It doesn't mean that you'll never experience that trigger again, or you'll never feel a certain type of way about XYZ that's happened. And it doesn't equal to, oh, you're not healed enough. Oh, you need to fix this. Oh, there's something wrong with you. It just simply means your nervous system is trying to tell you in that moment, we don't feel safe, something is off. We need you to pay attention to this. We need you to focus here and make us feel safe again. Because in that very moment, it doesn't matter how much inner work if you can't make your body feel safe.
We gotta think outside of the box we've been taught. When your body rejects the deprogramming, it's because it doesn't feel safe. It's like, wait a minute, but we're supposed to go to school, get a job, work for a few decades, and then retire. You're telling me no? You're telling me there are other ways to get money? There's other ways to get money other than a job? No. This doesn't sound safe because I haven't seen it. This doesn't sound safe because it hasn't happened to me. That's what your nervous system is going to tell you. And I'm telling you, keep rejecting it. When you learn how to regulate your nervous system and how to self-soothe, and you self-soothe instead of spiral, your nervous system regulates itself. It's kind of cool, but kind of scary. Once you learn how to sit with discomfort instead of running from it, you stop chasing what's not meant for you and you start attracting everything that is. You begin to move through life as if you already believe it's yours. And when you walk like that, grounded, centered, and certain, the world can't help but bend to meet you there. The world responds to your frequency. It mirrors your self-worth. So things begin to align, not just because you're lucky, but because you're in the rhythm with your own becoming. I see a lot of people that would describe themselves as confident. But how confident? Not tell anyone your plans and execute confident? Even if people project their own limiting beliefs onto you confident? It's okay. It took me 2 years to accept this myself. So don't feel bad, all right? You're not behind, you're not too late, and you're not broken. You are simply awakening. You're in that sacred in-between space where clarity is forming and you know you deserve better. And your old layers are shedding, but the next version of you is just quietly rising. And when you finally remember who you are, not just mentally, but in your body and your soul, the entire game shifts, and the places that once drained you will no longer hold power. It's like a new number, who this, new frequency, who this. And the opportunities you thought were closed off will reappear in forms you couldn't have even scripted better yourself. You are the ticket. You are the miracle, and you are the moment. You've always been it. You just got to remember from birth. But again, that's a conversation for a whole nother video. Now it's time to cash in, not by waiting passively, not by working harder, but by embodying the reality you've been praying for. Speak it, move like it, become it, because everything you've ever wanted isn't outside of you. It's waiting for you to recognize that it was you all along. If you're ready to reprogram your mind and to take the first step towards real freedom, subscribe, stay connected, and let's keep walking this thing out together. You've already won. Now let's make sure your life reflects it. Appreciate who you are right now, but be open and look forward to more. If you're ready to stop waiting for a miracle and start becoming the miracle, the first step is taking back your time, your energy, and your income. In the description is a link to the Royal Business Academy for people just like us, people who know they're meant for more, but just need the tools to get there. Inside, you'll find 60 plus self-paced courses, ebooks, and business blueprints that help you start the path to financial freedom. Whether that's launching your own business or learning how to pitch yourself as a contracted freelancer in the corporate world. And that means no selling, no digital products. You don't have to do none of that required, okay? Just your skills, your energy, and your time. And it's all on your terms. Click the link in the description to get started. And there's also a link in the description for the book I've mentioned in this video. You have everything you need inside of you. Now it's time to build the life that matches it. Okay, that's all I have for you guys. Bye-bye.
Life is going to work out perfectly for you. All the right things are going to happen to you in your life. All the right people are going to enter your life, and all the wrong people are going to leave in your life. You're going to have a beautiful home in your life. You're going to have a great career throughout your life. You're going to waken up every day of your life next to the love of your life. You're going to have leisurely Sundays and terrific holidays. You're going to travel and see the world. You're going to meet incredible people in your life who can help, and who you will help in ways that you could never have believed possible. You're going to be recognized as a hugely successful person and appreciated for this ability you have to help others. Please don't worry. Your life is going to work out perfectly. Now, I suggest that you read this to yourself every morning and last thing at night over the next 6 months, and the change that will happen to you will be unbelievable.